This year we have a new team fighting at the front, the team we did not expect to see that high on the grid. Although Aston Martin is not in a fight for the championship, it is in the battle for second, right behind Red Bull that fights for the title with itself, as it seems. Last year, when Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll struggled to score points regularly, we could not possibly imagine Aston Martin flying around the track. In this video, we are going to talk about making not one, but at least 5 steps forward with AMR23 and the impressions it has made on the team and all of us. Before we proceed, hit the subscribe button and smash the bell icon for more exciting updates. We saw that Aston Martin has improved its performances on pre-season tests. Everyone noticed that the team was on the same level as Mercedes. However, it wouldn't be the first time that Mercedes doesn't show its full potential on tests. On the other hand, we've seen many times that a team looks promising during the tests, but when the season starts, the picture gets different. So everyone was waiting impatiently for the Bahrain GP to see Aston Martin in real action. At Bahrain GP, we saw the performances we could expect, but we were surprised nevertheless. We've never seen Aston Martin so fast. And many people can't even remember when was the last time Alonso was on the podium. Alonso himself didn't expect that, although he knew the car was good because free practices and qualifying went well. The two-time F1 world champion started from P5, a great result for the team that struggled to get to Q3. Still, the Spaniard believed that the car was good enough for the midfield. The podium was something he thought he might get later in the season. It's not that Aston Martin has never been on the podium. Sebastian Vettel finished the 2022 Azerbaijan GP as second, but it was a one-off. Many drivers managed to get to the podium in uncompetitive cars under some circumstances, but this was a result of good car performance, not just circumstances and driver skills. What has Aston Martin done with the car to make such a huge improvement? Some of the top teams kept the philosophy they had last year. For us, it was much more difficult. We had to change 95% of the car. For us, there is much more to learn from the car and more to come on our side, said Alonso after the Bahrain GP. 95% sounds as if they've changed everything. AMR23 looks similar to Red Bull's RB18. Many teams followed the updates that Red Bull implemented last year, but it seems that Aston Martin was particularly devoted to getting the most out of Red Bull's design. Bodywork cooling cannon on the side and ramped down side pod that had a significant impact on aerodynamics is something that Aston Martin implemented on the new car most faithfully. The team also picked up the best ideas from Ferrari, side pod tops, and Mercedes, new slimmer and flatter nose. These were just a couple of changes. If you are interested in tech details, there are great articles with tech analysis. When we saw Alonso on the podium, we could not help but think of Vettel, who left Aston Martin at the end of last year. During the time he spent in this team, the 4-time F1 champion had a car that was not even close to this year's AMR23. And just when he left, things got much better. Of course, that every journalist wanted to hear Seb's thoughts. Vettel said to all who asked that he did not regret the decision to retire. It may be true, but people keep asking. Of course, Alonso was not the only Aston Martin driver who showed the great potential of the new car. Lance Stroll also did a fantastic job. We were not sure if he would even participate in the race because he got serious injuries before the season started. He missed pre-season testing, but he didn't want to miss the first race. There were discussions about this decision. Lance's wrists were severely injured, and the recovery was not over. It could have been dangerous to let him drive. When the incident in the opening lap of the Bahrain GP happened, everyone who thought it was a bad idea to let this guy control the F1 car steering wheel believed they were right. Still, both cars got out of it without damage, and Stroll finished the race on P5. After the huge success on the first race of the season, we were very curious about further performances. Mike Crack said they tried to avoid having big expectations after the Bahrain GP success. The team was not sure about high-speed sections and straight-line performances because that was something they were not ideal on the Sakir circuit, and it is very important for Jeddah and Saudi Arabia. Still, Saudi Arabian GP proved that the AMR23 has serious potential, despite Stroll's retirement due to an energy recovery issue. The pace was much better than Ferrari's. Alonso scored another podium finish with only dominant Red Bulls in front of him. If the car is good on 2 different track configurations, there is no doubt about its potential. At the Australian GP, the pace was great again. Alonso fought with Hamilton for second, but In the end, he finished on P3 and won the third podium in a row, while Stroll was right behind him at P4. If at pre-season tests, it seemed that Aston Martin and Mercedes were quite equal, the first 3 races left no doubts about that. If we take a look at current constructors' standings, Aston Martin is leading the fight for second place with 65 points, while Mercedes scored 56. Both teams will try to get closer to Red Bull as much as possible. We'll see which one will have more success. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe the channel to get more exciting Formula One news. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye!